Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of El Alfabeto Notes. And just as a reminder, you do need your note sheet, which you will get in class, or if you are a virtual student, you'll need to print from my Google Classroom in the Survival Guide Documents folder, or you can print or write it on loose leaf paper by hand. So we did, the first video was A through the double L, which is the eye, and on this video we're going to do M through Z. So let's jump right in. If you have your pencil, let me get this going. Okay. So the M in Spanish is M, and remember you're writing the EME on the El Sonido column. That's how you pronounce the letter M in Spanish, M. And you can just repeat after me when I say it, M. It's pronounced as the same as the English M. So again, don't copy all the words, just put same as English and choose one example to copy. Maria, martes, which means Tuesday, mañana, which means tomorrow. Also, reminder that you can pause this video at any time if I go too fast. The letter N is pronounced N. Muy bien. Pronounced the same as the English N, and an example would be no or nada, which means nothing. All right, then we have our N with the, which I'll call a squiggly line on top, and the letter is pronounced enye, enye. It's pronounced like if you put in English N and Y together, nya, in a word. For example, mañana means tomorrow. So pretend that it's spelled M-A-N-Y, mañana, and piñata. You don't say pinata, right? So piñata. That's one that English speakers actually got right when they learned the word piñata. They left the nya sound in there. So good job, English speakers. Also, and you definitely need to write this down because you're going to need to know this. It's actually not called squiggly line. It's the squiggly line has a name, and it's called a tilde. Tilde. That's the Spanish way to say it. In English, you can say tilde. So definitely write that somewhere on the side of your paper, wherever you can fit it. Okay. All right, the O is pronounced the same as the English O, but shorter. My picture. So in English, we say O, especially in the South, we tend to drag out our syllables. In Spanish, it's cut short. So you say O, okay? Say the English, O, Spanish, O. So when you say no, in English, we lengthen that, no. But in Spanish, we say no, chop it short. Okay, and then the letter O by itself means or. So if I say, ¿Quieres tacos o burritos? Do you want tacos or burritos? So if you ever see it by itself in a sentence, that's what it means, or. And definitely write that down. All right, next is pe. It's pronounced the same as the English P. You can just write same as English. Example, Pedro, perro, which means dog, and pero means butt, one butt. I mean, one T, not the B-U-T-T. All right. So, pe. Q is ku. It's pronounced like the English K sound in a word, k sound. It's always followed by the letter U, just like in English. So, example, que. So it sounds like a K, and queso. So que means what, and queso, cheese. All right, then we have the R. I changed the phonetics here on this slide because in the textbook, which we don't use, it puts E-R-E, and I found that students were saying ere, and that's not how you say the R in Spanish. So what you're going to do, it's ere. Ere. It's not a hard D sound. It's like you tap your tongue to the roof of your mouth when you say that D very quickly. Ere. Ere. I definitely want you to try this one, okay? So pretend like your tongue is up popping the roof of your mouth here. Ere. Sorry for the awkward tongue conversation. That's not the last one we're going to have. But all right, so it makes a soft D sound in the middle of the word. So example, pero. Notice it sounds kind of like a D, but it's not pedo. That's a different word, kind of funny. Not going to say what that means right now, but you can look it up. It's funny. Okay, so pero with a quick tap of the roof of your mouth with your tongue. Also, it's not senora. It's, although if you say that, everybody's going to know what you mean. But if you want to sound like a native speaker, you would say senora, like it's a soft D, senora. So listen to the difference. Senora, that's the English R sound. In Spanish, senora. It's like a quick, soft D, all right? Rolls, the R is going to roll like a double R at the beginning of the word. So when you say the color red in Spanish, even though it has one R at the beginning, you say rojo. And fast is rápido. Okay, so know that it makes like a soft D sound in the middle of the word, but if a word starts with an R, you roll it. Rojo. And I'm going to teach you how to roll your R here in a second. All right, double R, the R. This makes a rolling R sound, which we don't have in English. And example is carro, cigarro. So carro means car, cigarro means cigar. So, okay, I'm about to have an awkward conversation about your tongue, but this is the only way I can explain how to roll your R. Also, if you cannot roll your R's, if you practice, you can learn it, okay? You just need to practice, unless you have some sort of, I don't know, speech impediment or something, but you can practice it and learn it, okay? So 99% of people can get this. So this is what you do. So pretend like this is your tongue, okay? And this is the roof of your mouth. You're going to gently touch your tongue to the roof of your mouth. I told you this was awkward. And you're going to blow air out so that your tongue is like a leaf in the wind, okay? That's the best way that I can explain it. So try it out. Go. For me, I have a tongue tie, like an actual tongue tie. So I've had to learn to work around that. And I kind of do my rolling sideways in there, but you know, figure out a way that works for you. So try that again. Keep practicing. Try saying some words. Say carro, rojo, Ramón, rápido, cigarro. You can even do fast pulses of it and go, and it kind of gets you a little more practice. I know of a teacher who, at the beginning of every year, she has her students practice this. They sit at their desks and go for the first 2 weeks of school. That's like their bell ringer. And she says that all of her students can roll their R's at the end of the 2 weeks. I don't have time to do that, but if you would like to practice on your own, that would be awesome. And then you can impress your friends and even maybe impress someone you get your eye on that speaks Spanish and with your rolling R's, because a lot of Hispanics think that non-Spanish speakers can't roll their R's. So let's prove them wrong. Okay. R. That's my favorite letter, by the way. So much fun. Okay. The S is pronounced the same as English S. So that one's easy. Sábado means Saturday. Septiembre, September. Te is your English T's, pronounced the same as English. Taco, tarea. Tarea means homework. Te. Then we have the letter U, and it's pronounced U, like, ooh, I left my homework at home. All right, it's pronounced like the English O-O, ooh. Sound unless it comes after the letter Q, and then it is silent. So, for example, Cuba. In English, we say Cuba. We add like a Y sound in there, Cuba. In Spanish, you say Cuba. Or Uruguay. Sounds like it has a Y in English, right? But in Spanish, you say Uruguay. Uruguay. Try it. Uruguay. And then jueves is Thursday. Jueves. To give you an example of when it's silent, Q-U-E means what? And it's que. You don't hear a oo sound at all in that word. All right, that's oo. Then we have ve or be. So it can make a soft B sound or a V sound. So another awkward conversation about your mouth. So when we say the letter be, you're really pushing your lips together and making it come out like a harder sound, be. But when you say the letter be, you're not rolling your lips around. You're just touching your lips together, be. It's really hard to tell the difference between the two. And a lot of Hispanics make all their V's sound like B's, but there actually are some rules for when it sounds like a soft B sound and when it sounds like an actual V sound. So I'm going to go through those. These are your examples. Right. So when the V is followed by an A or an E, it sounds like the soft B sound. So the color green is verde. And cow in Spanish is vaca. Okay, so you don't say verde vaca. Okay, and then when the V is followed by I, O, or U, it sounds like the V sound. So viernes, Friday, volcán, volcano, vuelta. Okay, honestly, at least in my family, most Hispanics just say verde, vaca, viernes, volcán, vuelta. They don't really follow the grammar rules, just like English speakers don't always follow grammar rules. But so if you get these mixed up, we'll still know what you're saying. And even a lot of Hispanics don't follow, like I said. So not a huge deal, but I do want you to know the rules. I went too far. All right, the W is in Spanish. There's actually a few different ways to say W in Spanish. You can say W, which actually means double V, like two V's. You can say W, which is to use, boop, boop. And I think that's only two ways. So I feel like I'm forgetting one. W. Anyway, it's pronounced the same as the English W, and so whiskey is whiskey. Keep pressing the wrong button. All right, the X is X. Again, I changed the phonetic spelling, like what's in the bracket there, because in the book it's Equuis, and people were saying equus. So I changed it to this so it would be easier for an English speaker to read X. Oddly enough, the X can make a Z sound or an H sound. So the X is kind of weird in Spanish, just like it is in English. So let's check it out. Some examples. So at the beginning of the word, it's going to make a Z sound, just like in English. So xylophone is xilófono. Okay. And just FYI, I'm going to explain this when we get to Z, but the Z in Spanish doesn't ever go Z, it goes like an S. So xilófono. Inside of a word, it's going to make an H sound. So there's a city in Mexico, and all my students generally want to say Oaxaca, but you pronounce it like this, Oaxaca. Like the X is a H sound, okay? Oaxaca. So X at the beginning sounds like a Z. X in the middle of the word sounds like an H. Ha. Okay. All right, next. The Y is Y, which actually literally means, and you may want to write this down, good bonus question, Y literally means Greek eye, Y. It's kind of tricky to say. It's my least favorite letter of the Spanish alphabet because I feel so awkward saying it, Y. I notice, and I don't know why, a lot of my students say Igliega. They put an L in there, and I really don't understand where the L comes from, but it's not Igliega. It's Y with an R there. Okay, it can be pronounced like an English Y, or sometimes it sounds like an English long E. Give you examples. Yay. So at the beginning of the word, the English Y sound is made like yo, means I, yoga, Yogurt is yogurt. Okay. And then at the end of the word, or if it's used by itself, it makes a long E sound. So if you ever see Y by itself, it means and you say E. Okay. For example, me gusta tacos y burritos. I like tacos and burritos. All right. Then we have that word hoy, which we saw earlier in the notes. And that means today, and muy, which is very. And I already said this, but Y by itself means and. And definitely write that down. All right. The Z in Spanish is pronounced zeta. So it's not zeta, but zeta. It's pronounced like the English S sound. So for example, zapatos means shoes. You never make the Z sound in Spanish. So it's not zapatos, it's zapatos. All right. And I guess that's the last slide because nothing is clicking. I thought there was another slide, but that is the end of the alphabet. So I do want to go through real quick and say them with you. Get back to the M. All right, so repeat after me. Say M, N, Ñ, O, P, Q, R, R, S, T, U, V, W, or W, whichever one you prefer. Both are correct. X, Y, and Z. Awesome. Well, that is the end, and I hope you took some good notes, and have a great day.